searching the bishop and
If you clicked on this video, you probably think Fate is super complicated, but Fate is not complicated. It's been memed to oblivion by tons of YouTubers and content creators. Content farming geek. OMG, Fate is so long and confusing. I don't want to read a visual novel in jargon for over 6 years now. And it all started with this video.
How did it start with this video? Let's see how exactly
in
Fate was
there are
ruined.
these Unk mages who made this fucked up.
Honestly, now that I think about it, maybe I should watch Fate. Specifically, I'm a big fan of the first original one, and like the other ones that were kind of later on made around. Fate Zero also. Probably should watch that.
The Holy Grail War, where mages summon and use legends from history as weapons to obtain the Holy Grail. And the Holy Grail is basically a device that can grant any wish.
Basically, it's Aladdin, but rather than essentially two people fighting against each other, it's two people utilizing the power of historical figures to fight against each other for a magic wish granting cup. Which is crazy.
Not really, though. Okay, back to the main topic.
I mean, it is kind of really.
That Fate is a mess, but it's just blown out of proportion. Sure, there's like over 80 pieces of Fate media, not even counting the other related works like Tsukihime and Kara no Kyokai. But what Fate does is similar to other large franchises. For example, Star Wars. There is no way you are going to understand Star Wars by just watching a few movies.
Exactly.
Continue watching, you gain a deeper understanding for the series, and everything ends up making sense in your head. There's a ton of other examples, like Final
expansions
Fantasy,
more
Star
so.
Trek, the Marvel Universe. Like, my god, have you seen the Marvel Universe timeline?
Holy
But
damn.
not many people care about an optimal watch order for Marvel movies. Fate is just another show with a ton of content. That's it. Video over.
Yeah.
But for real, I see so much content on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and okay, I won't say the majority of it is about how hard it is to get into. A lot of it is just silly edits and stuff, which I do like, but a lot of the content is just watch orders, man. I'm tired of seeing the explaining Fate or Fate watch order for the 400th time. There's tons of content to be covered in Fate about lore, character analysis, power scaling, etc., which should be what's talked about.
There's a power scaling in Fate?
All the content that's actually being fed to us is just, OMG, Fate's so hard. Me dumb. There are two big reasons why Fate is hard to get into. The first reason is because the Fate route had a dogshit adaptation. More on that later. The second reason is the only other recommended entry is the Fate Stay Night visual novel.
Oof,
if
that
you
one
want
is
to start Fate optimally,
exceedingly
start with
long.
the visual novel. But that doesn't mean it is for everyone. It's long, in a format that a lot of people
8 hours, holy! I mean, yeah, it does cover like 3 stories,
daunting.
3 different timelines
so why
in a
does
sense.
the anime community think Fate is confusing in the first place? Okay, before going into this next section, let me give you some background. When I was a young lad, I'd scour the endless plains of the internet looking for the next great anime to watch. Watching shows like Mob Psycho, JoJo's, and Attack on Titan. Going through mal databases, forums, and YouTube recommendations until one day,
Never heard
I
of
got a
that.
notification for Gayek's new video. Trying to understand the Fate series. As a big Giguk fan, I clicked that video faster than the fucking speed of light. My
Okay.
goodness, I regret watching it to this day. I had no idea what Fate was, besides a few memes, and this was my first introduction to the Fate series. My tiny little brain exploded. Seeing how involved Fate was portrayed in Giguk's video made me think Evangelion was a simple children's show. So I booted up the best anime site ever made, rest in peace, God bless you, and watched Fate Zero. I watched like 8 episodes and then dropped it, because I had absolutely no idea what was going on. Then my mind was set in stone.
But why didn't you...
It's just too hard for me. The video that...
How can you just watch, like... I understand if it, like, dies on you somewhat, but still, not watching something to the end? Like, chances are, if it, like... something, for example, my experience with a show called From is that it started off somewhat decent. Season 2 was kind of then crazy, and then all of a sudden Season 3 just made me quit on the show entirely. But again, that's the interesting perspective. I watched Season 1 in its entirety, analyzed it something, then watched Season 2, which just made me more confused, and I was hoping for Season 3 to kind of clear out the air and, restore my faith in the show so I can hopefully expect the other seasons, but no, it just kind of ruined it. So I know for a fact that Fate, even as like a massive expansion, has different variations, so I get if you get bored by it, which is why I don't recommend binge watching everything in one single area, because chances are you're gonna skip everything important or, entertaining, which is why you watch it, step by step to make sure you compensate for it all. Maybe I should watch a Fate series. Sounds way more fun than watching, this, I guess. Maybe I'll pick it up. Maybe Fate Zero seems. Maybe I'm mainly gonna watch Fate Zero because I remember like the abridged version with Lancelot. Enough said with that.
That Gaunt made explains Fate in the most convoluted manner possible. Of course, the video is meant to be a joke, and I knew that, but I think subconsciously your brain starts associating stuff from videos you see. That was not the only video that was published about how complex Fate was.
Unfortunately, if you present it in a serious tone or something like that, the comedic route or parody route tends to be lost. So unless you go full on ham or just throw in a few jokes here and there, chances are people are going to consider this to be like the definitive, example or explanation for why the series is like this. And chances are most people would kind of take this and roll with it.
Tons of YouTubers hopped on Giguk's clickbait train to get hella views, but it caused a domino effect, making the general consensus of the anime community the very same: Fate is complicated, ruining Fate for new fans. So now, new fans go to Reddit, Discord, and other communities to look for the best watch order instead of actually watching the fucking show.
Yeah.
I too was a victim to this. Fast forward like 5 years, I was reintroduced to Fate by my
5
friends
whole
through
years.
the Dean adaptation, and I was hooked. Yes, you heard that right. The Dean adaptation. The Magic Association, magic system, heroic spirits, noble phantasms, historical aspect, and oh my god, the world building was phenomenal. But what really hooked me was Rin Tosaka.
Of course.
Before I watched the Dean adaptation, my memory of
It's kind of like
Fate was
Evangelion
completely
with
erased. I
Rin.
still only had the Fate
and,
is
like,
confusing
the-
thought process. But thankfully, I had forgotten
With
all of
Rei,
Fate
that
Zero,
is,
which
and
helped me go into it with a semi-open mind.
the other one that was the
Unpopular
red hair,
opinion.
the annoying
The Dean
one.
anime was not that bad. It is, of course, a bad adaptation of the visual novel, but it was still fun.
Oh, it's a bad adaptation?
It had some
Interesting.
good scenes and an amazing soundtrack, which I personally enjoyed.
How did they cook so hard on this? Ginyu Shiso.
I was pretty scared of watching it though, because people were complaining about how bad it was, which is like, eh.
I mean, if we're talking about adaptation, I get it. It's like it loses the original source material, but still is like its own standalone, and using the original source material doesn't seem that bad.
I have just finished the Fate route in the Fate Stay Night visual novel, and even though I haven't finished all 3 routes, it's still an incredible experience. As someone who has never tried a visual novel before and has always kind of been averse to playing them, it was really fun playing through it. Reading an amazing story, listening to an awesome soundtrack, and most of all seeing more depth in all the characters is what really sold me on visual novels. I completely understand why people say to just read the visual novel now. Fate Stay Night is quite literally perfect. Slowly getting to know the characters throughout the 3 routes builds an attachment to them you never would have expected to have. I went into the Fate Stay Night visual novel with the mindset of, I've already watched the anime, how different could it be? Then I got to the final day of the Fate route, and then cried. By the way, if you think this is a hate video, it's not. I
mean,
Garnt.
you pretty
Joe
much
is one of
trying
my
to defend it,
favorite
if anything.
YouTubers and
Who
my
could confuse
inspiration for
a
making this YouTube
defense
channel.
for like a hate
So,
video?
It's just a rant. Don't hate on Garnt. He's amazing. Okay, video actually done this time. Fate isn't complicated, and go watch or read Fate. Goodbye.
Maybe read Faith if you're going by the whole ordeal with it. It's perfect. Guess it makes sense.
If you made it to the end of the video,
I did.
thank you. This is my first long form video, and I worked pretty hard on it. So, if you enjoyed it, do the usual, subscribe, like. Thanks.
I like it though. There you go. You know what? Screw it. I'll be the 99th subscriber before the triple digits.